Hi, we're Margie and Rich Sloan, and we've lived in Oviedo here now for 29 years. We absolutely loved it. We lived on the other side for most of that time, the other side of the city, and loved it so much. When we downsized, we just couldn't leave the town, and so we found a house, and we have moved in here since August, and we absolutely love it. And
It's a great community, and we were just fortunate to be able to settle here after my career in the Navy, which brought me here to Central Florida, where we first settled in Oviedo and decided to stay once I left the service.
Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my sweet Valentine?
Well, we have been married now 46 years. And I know that's kind of a record these days, and we're very proud of it. We know that our children are proud of it, which is kind of interesting to see how they react to our longevity. And we really have had a wonderful life. It's just been an adventure from the beginning. I think I can start here with when we met. I was in Newport, Rhode Island. I was going to school, to college there, studying to be a nurse. I had joined the Navy, and Newport, Rhode Island was a very Navy town. And Rich was stationed there, and we ran into each other when I was dating his friend.
Well, we didn't literally run into each other, but 46 years, it's easy to remember the number because being married in 1970, I can do the math without taking my shoes off. And it's been a great time. As Margie said, we met in Newport, Rhode Island, and we were married. We've been married for 46 years, but I actually chased her for 2 years before I ran her down. But she was a young college girl, going to be a Navy nurse, and just couldn't escape the attraction, and it's been a wonderful marriage.
Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my sweet Valentine?
Well, I know over the years, I think things have evolved as we've grown. We've found that currently we just absolutely love anything to do with bird watching, which most of our friends and family know that we probably bore them to death with our talk about birds, but we absolutely love that. We find that a very relaxing thing to do together. We plan our vacations around bird festivals. Prior to that, we were runners, and we enjoyed going to run races. And we would plan our vacations around that, find a race somewhere across the country, and check into the hotel and have a nice weekend and get a little exercise too.
Just like going out for a drive every now and then, or exploring places that we haven't seen before, going down roads untested, that sort of thing. But I would have to agree, our passion right now is bird watching, and Margie's is photography. So we put the two together, and we always have a great time together.
Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my sweet Valentine?
Chopped liver.
Well, you know, we do so much together. There isn't too much that we do apart or separately. It's only because of our schedules that we can't put them together. But almost everything we do together. I mean, with Rich working at UCF, there are so many activities involved with UCF, football being one of them. I would never have gone to a football game as a youngster, but I have learned to love the sport, and of course become a night fan big time. And we go to all of the games together and really, really enjoy that. So I think our location, our jobs have brought us together on a lot of our interests today.
Shopping. I can't stand sitting around waiting. I'm in the dressing room. I'll be right out in about an hour and a half later. But other than that, it's been great. And she picks out great stuff, too, in the dressing room.
It's hard to get him to eat vegetables, too.
Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my sweet Valentine?
You first.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I would say that it's probably the same case with many married couples, and it revolves around the toothpaste tube. I want to squeeze from the end, and she wants to squeeze from the middle. So it's one of those deals where every morning it's a reset, every evening reset again. But if that's the biggest problem we have, we got it made.
Well, I think that's why we have lasted as long as we have. The other factor is he was in the Navy, and of these 46 years we've been married, he's probably been gone for about a quarter of those years. So we've had time apart. We haven't grown apart. We've grown even closer, which has just been really wonderful for us. And I probably would say we've probably had about 20 honeymoons in our over our married life, because every time he would go away for 6 months, he'd be back, and it was just great. So that was something that worked very well for us. But as far as his bad habits, I can probably say that selective hearing is something that he has worked on very hard to perfect. So he will ask me to repeat things when I know he heard me the first time, but
well, I just want to get it on the recording, I want to make sure that when we have to go back on an issue, I got it down on tape, so I never say it twice.
Wow.
You be mine, won't you be mine, won't you be my sweet Valentine?
What have we learned from each other? Well, let's see. I have learned to be patient. I have learned that my husband is a very complex individual. Very surprising things. He always surprises me. Just when I think I've got it figured out, he does something completely different. And I think that's what's exciting about 46 years of marriage, is that we have, there are always surprises. And every now and then you'll say something and you wonder, where did that come from? And then we do a lot of laughing together. And I think that is probably something that has seen us through a lot of things, is we can something will strike us funny and we lose it for 10 minutes. We just are laughing hysterically. And our children have been involved in that. When they've been around the table, we'll say something funny and the whole table dissolves in laughter for 10 minutes, and we're all enjoying each other that way. So I think laughter is a big thing that has helped us.
Well, what I've learned is, and my advice to others, it may be too late for some, is marry a Navy nurse. She'll take great care of you, she's loving and understanding, and she doesn't wrap the bandages too tight. But as Margie said, it's really been a family affair. Just the other day, last night, we ended up laughing about something, and it was a phrase that we've picked off of the television 40 years ago, and to this day it's part of the family vernacular, and it's just that we share so much together, and sharing is, I think, what I've learned, and it's been a great ride.
Won't you be mine, won't you be mine, won't you be my sweet Valentine?
I'll let you go first on that one.
Well, I think a compromise would be the one thing I would mention that always works for us. We've never really had arguments. We've had differences of opinion, and we've always managed to come to a compromise on things that required a compromise, but they've been very few and far between.
I think, I'm not sure of the word, but when
Handsome, is that the word?
Yes, handsome. Well, when you do have differences, I think it's important to remember that we all are different. That we're not all going to think the same way and do the same things, despite the fact that we've been married for so long. And to accommodate that and to work around that. Nothing in life is ever perfect, and we seem to manage working together through things, challenging times. And everybody has that challenging times, and rather than work apart, we've worked together. And I think that's something really important, and being aware of each other's feelings and accommodating those whenever we can.
Yeah, the last challenge we had was around that toothpaste tube about 6 o'clock this morning. I discovered it had been squeezed in the middle.
You be mine, won't you be mine, won't you be my sweet Valentine?
wish you all a happy Valentine's Day, and I hope you're all as happy as we are. And we thank you for watching.
Thanks again. Happy Valentine's Day. I love you.
I love you.
All that you are, like a clear night sky, graced by a shooting bright star. So won't you be mine? Won't you